All right, what's up, folks? Welcome to Foreign and Domestic. It is good to be here. Good to see everyone out in the side chat. And unfortunately, this week, Alan has some stuff going on, so Alan's not going to be here. Do our traditional way of starting off the chat. However, we do have the one, the only, the New York Outcast. Sir, if you would, please start us off right.
No problem. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. How are you, my friend?
Doing all right. How you doing?
Not too bad this week, actually. A lot better this week than I have been. I've been trying some different things and getting better. So it's a slow but gradual process.
All right. You still swimming in shit over there, or what? Did you get that handled?
No, that shit's gone. That got handled. They came
Cool.
out last week. They came out last week and took care of the swimming shit.
Awesome. Sure.
That was a $250 bill to get the shit out of here.
That's cheap.
Yeah. Now, do you have a tank or a leach field?
Both.
Okay.
Both. Yeah. No, and that fucker was
All right.
full.
Yeah. So the tank.
That thing was beyond full.
Right.
It took 2 trucks to empty it.
Damn.
Yeah, literally 2 trucks.
Well, you should be good for a while now. Obviously, make sure your guests, especially females, don't flush stuff they're not supposed to, because they're horrible with that shit. Seriously. But if you got a system like that, really anywhere, like they say things are flushable, but I'm telling you, they're not. And nobody likes pulling wads of that shit out of the pipes. So,
they're absolutely not. Just because it says flushable on the can doesn't mean that it's flushable, people.
Right.
There's at the range we go to, you've been there with me before, Scotsman. I think Daniel's been there too. Anyway, there's a sign in the toilet in the outhouse, basically. It says, "Don't throw trash in the hole. It's hard to remove." This is basically just, it's a nice outhouse, but it's an outhouse. And it's block and all that. But yeah, people have thrown crap down in there, and somebody has to get it out, So
absolutely,
it's embarrassing to me that they have to put that sign up there. You understand?
It's embarrassing to me that it took 2 trucks to empty it.
Jason, I'm sorry to tell you, but those leach fields will only take so much crap, and your tank will fill up again.
Oh, it will, but I don't plan on being here by that point.
Okay. Unfortunately for your landlord, that's going to be a big bill when they have to dig that new leach field.
It's going to be a huge bill, and he's still going to come out and repair the fucking grass as it is. So there's a lot of shit to be done still. There's still a lot of work to do. He's on vacation right now, but there's a lot of work to do when he gets back. It's not going to be an easy time or a fun time. With that being said, Daniel, how you doing, man?
Oh, I'm doing okay. I'm probably going to go to sleep early tonight. The last 2 days, Saturday, I was shooting from 9 o'clock in the morning till 3 in the afternoon, and today I was shooting from 9 this morning till 3:30 this afternoon. Shot 12 stages today, so it was a long day.
All right. Well, tell us how it went, man. How'd it go?
It was really hot. It was a lot of stages. Did I say it was really hot? It was 95 degrees out there today, and we're on ground asphalt. And it was hot. Yeah, that's how it went.
That's how it went. Okay. Bama, there's always leaves, man. I'm not worried about having to use a bucket or this, that, the other. Remember, there's always leaves. It's nature's intended fucking butt wipe. So there you go. It's nature's butt wipe.
No, G23, I did not DQ. I made it through all 12 stages.
Look, that's I'm gonna tell you guys that's impressive when you got back problems and you got other issues going on. That's impressive, man. That he pushed through and was able to make it through all 12 stages. That's a lot.
And there goes
a lot.
And look at this, reloading from the hot pot and going, and my butt is sore. Okay. I got spanked. Gene had a good day.
Ooh.
Gene had a good
you were talking shit. Didn't you say he was going to be crying in front of his wife?
Well,
see, that's karma right there, buddy. That's karma. As soon as you bring the wife in the shit, the gods are against you.
Hey, I have all the text messages from Daniel going, "Hey, I'm gonna spank his ass."
Yep. Unfortunately, the first 4 stages, my butt was dragging anchors. I mean, I had no speed whatsoever, and it was just too wide of a gap to make up. But I tell you what, toward the last stage, I should have just said, I just right there, right after his girlfriend put the jinx on us, making one of those like comments, no one fell down, no one got hurt, or you're all shooting okay and shooting good. And I just looked at Jean right there, and she goes, she just cursed us. And it's like, oh, well, it didn't curse me on the last stage. Jean got the curse because I whipped him. I left spanking him. He spanked me probably 9 out of the 10 stages, but I got the last spanking in.
It's got nothing to do with that brick that got thrown at him.
No, it was a hunk of asphalt.
Oh, okay.
No, Gene, you beat me 9 out of I think 9. I got you 3 of the stages. The ones with the steel and the cardboard, I got you 1 of those. I know I got you the last stage, and I'm thinking there was 1 other one that I got you in, but the other stages where you had to run around and go all over the place and spray and pray. Yeah, those things there.
Well, we know Gene's good at spraying and praying.
Well, Daniel, I mean, what was your
saying
problem?
I'm not saying he can hit the target, but he's good at spraying and praying.
Well, no, Gene actually today shot a very respectable match.
That's good, man. Yeah.
So, was your wife kicking your ass the night before or something, Daniel? Or what?
Let's see. Okay, before I shot yesterday, my wife's in the ER. Okay. So, and then got all that done, got her back home. And after that, that's when the church qualifications for the security team, we started shooting then. And I ended up just after we went out to lunch, came back and shot until about 3:00. So,
look, here's the thing of it. So, we go back and forth, we joke around here and there, guys. But at the end of the day, it's all helping us progress and be better in the shooting world, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Daniel's getting out there, and Daniel's got a lot of issues, just as you know, and just like I do. I got a lot of back problems right now and shit going on, and it's all about getting out there and doing what you can do and pushing yourself to the limit that you can push yourself to.
Hey, I beat a master today
You
I
know,
beat some A and B class guys today. It just so happens Gene beat a few more than I did.
look, man, you ran 12 fucking stages, dude. That's a lot. That's a lot.
I wasn't even planning on shooting the whole 12.
That's a lot of fucking stages. I don't care who you are. That's a lot of stages.
Gatorade is your friend. I mean, guys were ready to puke. They were bent over. I mean, it was brutal.
You also got to remember, guys, it's hot out here this week. We're in the 90s today, so it's fucking hot. It's humid. It's sticky, and you're out there trying to shoot. That adds to it too, man. There's a lot of work involved. You know, people don't always think about all the other things that go into play. It's not just walking out and pulling your gun out and pulling the trigger. There's a lot of other shit that comes into play.
And mate, there she go, Miss Hot Shot. I mean, at the end, I was actually getting the momentum going. It was just getting everything going right at the beginning, as like the body wasn't awake yet.
Oh, it can be tough, man. I mean, look, it's a prime example of, you know, same thing of defending yourself. You don't know when it's coming. And you might be butt ass fucking tired and you got to draw your weapon. You don't know how it's going to go down. You have no fucking clue. It's the same fucking way, dude. You have no idea. You hope and pray that you know what the hell you're doing. You hope and pray that you got this shit. But at the end of the day, you don't know how it's going to go.
Yeah, this thing here today, it was like sprint, run through, get that dot on that target, and just boom, just shoot and get through it. The last stage of this one guy who was really good, he ended up he ran he ran too fast. He didn't hit his mark where he needed to take a stutter step and shoot the last target to close on. So he jumps up into the air before he left. He was still in the shooting area. He jumps and got as much air as he could, put 2 shots on the target and got 1 alpha, and the other one was a hit. I don't know if it was a C or a D, but he got both hits before he touched the ground again. And because it was just flat out hit it. Yeah, we were sitting there talking back and forth, going back, but we weren't talking smack during the match. It was too hot
That's
to
the
talk.
problem. That's the problem. You were so busy talking smack, you burned up your energy and got out there and dragged ass.
We were both concentrating on how to get through that stage as fast as possible.
High speed, low drag.
We were too busy where we're staying in our own heads, because if you try to mess with the other person's head, that's just going to mess you up.
So let's address this comment here. Did anyone have, I don't know if you guys have seen these things or not, and I'm not sure if it's a fucking gimmick or what, but I guess there's these fans that go around your neck.
Fans?
They go, yeah, there's a fan that goes around your neck and it's supposed to help cool your body.
They're real.
Yeah, they might be. They're probably a gimmick, though. I just had a big lunchbox cooler, a larger one. I filled with ice and threw 2 medium-sized Gatorades in first, and I threw a couple of towels in. I had a towel over my head, a towel around my neck, constantly during the whole day. I had to ditch the hat. I mean, Gene did call me a towel head while we were there. I didn't care. It was too hot. That ice water in those towels felt really good.
That's hilarious.
They do have like a little neck collar thing that has like Bluetooth and speakers you can put to it, and has a little fan deal. Well, stuff like that you can order on the thing. I've never gotten them. I've seen them before, so I I don't know. Seems like you're putting, a chunky wand on and stuff, and more shit to get caught in the stuff or whatever. So in a match, I wouldn't think that'd be ideal. They do have those neck coolers that you can wrap around, and they work okay. From what I've used in the past. So
Yeah, Gene was like all in love with his Chinese-made Amazon hat. I did give him crap about that.
All right, tell us more about this Chinese Amazon hat.
Oh, it had like netting in the back that draped over his shoulders. Like he's wearing this round, oversized boonie hat that it's got half of a cape on it. Like he must be like think he's Superman out there running around, but it's camouflage or something.
hey, it probably works. The back of his neck probably doesn't look like charcoal today.
So what you're telling us is that he went out there trying to be Superman. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not going to say that because then I'd have to be Robin, as though he whipped my ass today. Okay,
Hey,
but that
respect is given where respect is due.
Mm-hmm. There, Gene, I've ate my crow. But yeah, he got me this time. But in October, it's going to be an all classifier match up there.
Here we go, folks. Here we go. The shit's talking starting.
Well, I know I'll whip him then because he sandbags the classifiers. There was 0 classifiers at this match. It was all just set up stages and go.
Yep. Here we go, folks.
A drag race. I would describe this whole 12 stage. Every single stage was a drag race. Get through it.
Y'all stay tuned for the outcome.
Yeah, he didn't have. I don't have wheels to make a full running circuit. Stages that I didn't have to run very far. He won one. I won. We had to shoot it forwards the first time. The second, we had to shoot it in reverse order. Oh, we split all those back to back. Yeah.
Hey, look, the thing of it is y'all are out there, you're doing it, you're getting out and you're shooting. And that's the important thing. Yeah. There are so many people that make all kinds of excuses as to why they can't get out, they can't do this, blah, 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 blah. And I know you got a lot of problems, but you're still out there, you're still doing it, and you're pushing through, and you're making it happen.
Well, hey, Mrs. Hotshot, she's trying to cheer me up. I am cheered up. I had a good day out there shooting, and I don't know why she's complaining. She finished first in her division. She is a senior lady, and I don't care how old the ladies are out there, even the guys, get out there and shoot. She was out there today just concentrating, not go past any targets, not skip any.
No, it's again
get good hits on the targets, and that was her whole game plan.
That's the thing of it, man. It doesn't matter who you are. You get out there and go shoot, man. And the thing of it is just get out there and have fun. If you perform well, great, but don't focus on trying to perform well. Focus on having fun, because the minute you sit there and try to focus on making sure you're doing well, you're going to screw up. And you need to focus on having fun. That's all it's about. Get out there and have fun, man. That's one of the big things with the whole shooting world as it stands. It's about getting out there and having fun. As reloaders. I mean, Jamie, man, as a reloader, we've been reloading for years. Dude, people say it's work. It's not work. To me, it's fun.
Yes.
We get to sit there. We get to sit there and figure out a load that works for a gun, and we get to sit there and play around with it and have that opportunity to make adjustments. So to me, that's fun, man. That's a huge part of what it is. It's
what have I been doing?
Hanging out and doing what we got to do. Oh, right there, boom.
I'm working on 270. Anyway, Daniel.
Yeah.
We'll see that closer.
Okay, it looks like the reloading manual.
So you got a Hornady
book. Back here is my notebook. And under my notebook is the Lyman book.
Multiple books. That's a good.
He's got, and this is another thing we bring up a lot of time, folks. Have multiple books, have multiple options.
Then on my computer screen up here, I've got reloading data from Western Powders, Shooter's World, and Hornady. So I'm checking 5 sources. They're not even close, man.
All right, hold on. I have to address a comment here. I cannot believe that this came from Gene, but oh my God. Gene even says he saw so many Glocks fail today. I love it. I absolutely fucking love it.
It was a torture test for guns today.
I've said it many times over, and I cannot say it. I don't know how many times I have to say it to people. Look, you need to understand that guns are tools. Guns are machined pieces of equipment, and at some point they're gonna fail. And the way that Glocks are made, unfortunately, versus other guns, they're made with certain materials, plastic, fantastic, whatever you want to call them, and unfortunately, because of that, they tend to fail a lot more than your actual Glock owner is going to tell you, because they're going to sit there and lie to you all day long and say, "Oh no, it's fucking perfect." They have a lot of problems, folks. A lot of problems.
See, last night, before the match, yesterday when I got done shooting, I brought my gun in. And I broke it down to clean the whole thing out, because today I had full intention. I did not want anything to go wrong with it. And right there, when I got the gun all cleaned up and I'm putting it back together, I get a hold of my slide and my optic, and I give them a little, see if my optic's coming loose. It was loose, a broken screw. And the guy that's got the torque wrench, he's getting off work in about 45 minutes. So, and I've got to find my screws, my other set, to go ahead and replace it. That wasn't going to happen. Well, that's when the whole 2-is-1 comes in. I have a backup gun exactly the same as my competition gun. It's the gun I use for carrying. So I broke that one down completely, cleaned it all up, got it ready for the match. And 0 failures all day. But that I would have had a big failure if I hadn't checked my optic and noticed that one of the mounting screws was broken. That thing would have came back and hit me in the face.
No, and that's a good thing to bring up. I don't care who you are, what you shoot. Anytime you go out and shoot, come back in, check your firearm, check it. Clean it, check it, make sure everything's good. You don't know what's going on with it, man. You don't. And it whether it's factory loads or whether it's reloads, you're still going to have potential issues. You need to sit down and look at your firearm. I did a repair not last weekend, but the weekend before for the gunsmith. He called me and asked me to come in and work on a gun for him. Asked me to find a part. It was about 3 weeks ago. I found the part, and then I went in the weekend before last and fixed it. But the reason that it broke wasn't the reason that the guy said it broke. So the guy was sitting there going, it just broke and fell apart. Well, that's not how it happens. So this was a Model 17 -3 22 Smith & Wesson revolver, and the hammer apparently just broke. Well, that's not how that kind of shit happens. It broke because, and we determined this by looking at the cylinder some more, it broke because he was dry firing the shit out of it, and it jammed up on one of the cylinders, and then he took a hammer to the hammer. Now, he's not going to tell you that, but that's exactly how it happened. And we can tell that because of the markings on the cylinder. And I was able to fix it, get it all repaired and all the rest of it. But guys, check your guns, man, and just pay attention to what's going on. And please, for the love of God, I've said this for every single day since I've been in this industry. Do not dry fire a fucking 22. Please do not. For the love of God, please do not dry fire a fucking 22.
Revolver.
It doesn't matter what it is. You're going to have issues if you keep doing it.
I think another problem that people overlook or whatever as far as guns going down is cleaning them. Like, it's, one thing I see a lot, people meet up to go shoot this and that, and they got issues with their guns. And it's because, in my opinion, because they never really clean them. So, to me, I would be embarrassed going to meet up with a bunch of friends and one of my guns didn't work. It's kind of weird. So I would definitely check it out. Make sure, especially if there's going to be a lot of hands on it, make sure everything's wiped down good.
We have a prime example, don't we, Daniel?
Yep. We're thinking right there. It's pretty bad.
As soon as
come
he
all the way
opened
to Ohio from Arizona.
Soon as he opened his mouth, I'm like, dude, Daniel's got that look on his face
with a Glock. To my
for folks that don't know, it was about 3-4 years ago now.
Yeah.
We had a big, and I put that in quotation marks because he's a fucking prick and a lying piece of shit. In quotation marks, a big YouTuber come out and shoot with me and Daniel, and he brought his Glock with him, and multiple Glocks, to be honest with you, actually multiple Glocks, and we got out there and we were doing our thing, this, that, the other. And he hands Daniel a Glock. Daniel gets up there, pulls the trigger a couple times, bang, bang, and then it stops. And he looks at Daniel and goes, "You're limp wristed." And Daniel's like, "There's no fucking way. There ain't no fucking way."
Then Jason, I handed it to Jason. He gets up there, same thing. As a matter of fact, there's a video on my channel of the whole thing. It says, 10 malfunctions in 5 minutes by 3 different shooters from a Glock.
Yep. And guys, I'm not kidding you, man. Look, the thing of it is, and he started making excuses too. This is the best part. He started making excuses. Oh, it's a magazine. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. Dude, no, it's not. It's your gun, number one, isn't clean. And number two, it's a fucking Glock. It's a piece of shit. Like, just wake up and realize what you have in your hand. Yeah. Stop making excuses.
It came down to it. He turned around and took the whole thing apart. The innards where the springs and all that was gunked up from that fine sand and oil. And he had never
cleaned.
Never really broke it down and gave it a thorough cleaning.
That's what you see a lot of times. They just don't take care of their tools, basically. So,
but the issue with that is he's the guy that's out there going, "Hey, these fucking run like nothing else is business, blah blah blah. I know what I'm doing, blah blah blah. I'm fucking Army fucking soldier doing this shit, blah blah blah." But then his shit fails. Like, dude, stop being out there saying you're something when you're not.
Fun.
I can't stand that bullshit.
Well, now that we hit that hot button, what's up, man? What's going on?
You know, there's people, and I'm not a Glock guy. There's people who really like them and have not had problems with them. But
Because they probably know how to take care of them.
And I wonder how they do take care of them. I wonder how much they shoot them, and this, that, and the other.
Garage guy, yes, there was a couple years back. Daniel, you remember exactly what that was? I don't know off the top of my head.
Oh, it was all kinds of different shooting. And I mean, it all went to pull off the hardest shot. I mean, we ended up going back, like, I went there 50 yards. Then it was just one-handed. Then I finished off support hand on, a regular piece of steel, which would include your A and C zone. And the side chat got the vote on who actually won this whole the back and forth we kept going for, to who could do the best, fastest, farthest, hardest shots.
I'll tell you this, folks. You need to understand something. So I've known Daniel for quite a few years at this point, and when I first went out and met him, his wife was kind of like, "Are you're gonna go meet some random guy that you met online, blah blah blah, whatever, right?" And it's funny how it comes out, but no, seriously, that's what it was. We met up, whatever, and he's like, "I'm not a pistol shooter. I'm a rifle shooter." And I look at him and I go, "Well, I'm a pistol shooter. I'm not a rifle shooter." And so we came to an agreement that I would help teach him pistol and he would help teach me rifle. And over the years, that's exactly what it's been. He's been teaching me, I've been teaching him. And I will tell you that Daniel has come so far in pistol, it's not even funny. He can take a revolver one-handed at 50 yards and still hit his target and not even flinch. And that's impressive. That is impressive. I don't care who you are. That's impressive. He's come a long way from when I first met him, and he's paid attention to everything I've told him. And I will say to him that I still have a lot of problems with rifle, and he knows I do. And a lot of the problems I have with rifle is my trigger pull. And I got to figure out my trigger pull. That's where I fail on it, is my trigger pull.
You have no patience.
I have patience. I do. I have a lot of patience. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I have a lot of patience. Trust me, I do. I have a lot of patience.
I have learned to be a trigger snob. If it don't have a good trigger, I don't want it. That goes either for a rifle or a pistol.
If I didn't have patience, there's no way I could have spent 5.5 hours yesterday polishing an old Smith & Wesson. I have patience. It's there. There's a lot of things that come into play, and I don't know what it is with rifle. For whatever reason, I go to pull that trigger and shit happens.
Well, I went on. I did this whole YouTube thing just like to network and meet people to gain more knowledge, and I've ended up getting more than just knowledge. I've got quite a few friends.
Yep.
I've also seen the type of people that go out, call you brother one day, and then all of a sudden the next day you've been totally cut off, and they don't want any. Because now they get a big head and they think they got a huge channel when they really don't.
As far as that could be possible, man. I love shooting, dude. So there's a good possibility I'm just getting a little too hyped up as I pull the trigger. There's a good possibility.
See, that's the same thing. That's what I said. You got to have patience.
I have patience.
You got to become Zen, one with the long arm, with the long deer. Right, Jamie? Especially when that big buck is out there. You can't let it rattle you.
That's the tough part.
Hey, look, I'll tell you, man. You know, I've been blessed to meet people and know a lot of people over the years, and Daniel's blessed me, and his wife has blessed me with the opportunity to hunt on his property. And I'll tell you, I've been out there a few times over the years. And unfortunately, the last couple of years with my issues, with my back and stuff, I haven't been able to get out there. But the one time that I did have a buck walk by, I didn't pull the trigger. And I didn't pull the trigger because it was too dang small. And I said, no, I'm not doing it. I'm going to let it walk and I'm going to let it grow. And, you know, there's something to be said for that. You know, I really wanted to fucking shoot it, but at the same time, I was sitting there going, no, it's too small. I gotta pass. I gotta pass.
If it's a small buck, let it pass and shoot a doe. If you got to shoot a deer, shoot a doe. Don't shoot bucks.
I would rather shoot a doe and have some meat in the freezer. That's really more what I would like to have. I just want meat in the freezer, man. I'm not concerned about having a big freaking buck, man. I'm not. And again, I'm just, hey, to me, it's a blessing, man. I have an opportunity to get out and hunt, and you know, you and your wife give me that opportunity, and I can't thank you guys enough. And it's cool to have that. You know, I wish I could get out there the last couple of years, but unfortunately, with all the issues I've had, it's just not been possible. But I'm hoping this year I can get back out there.
Well, this year too, my niece is going to be coming over to hunt. The girl's a deer hunter, but I'm thinking she shot more deer out of her bedroom window than she has her stand. Well, her mom and dad built their house is where I used to have a deer stand, and I would whack a buck. I mean, every year. And my sister, just to spite me, put her house there.
Yes, Uncle Jim, I am not a conspiracy fucking bastard. I am the conspiracy. I will fucking make you believe everything.
So why don't you just go to your sister's and hunt from her porch?
Uncle Jim believes we walked on the moon.
Coming again there, Rob? You were breaking up.
So why don't you just go to your sister's and hunt from her porch?
And hunt from her porch? Why?
Yeah, be a little payback for putting their house there.
No, I can hunt from my porch and still get bigger bucks than them.
I can agree with that. I can attest to that. I've literally sat on Daniel's porch and seen fucking big fucking deer, like huge deer.
That's how I do most of my scouting, drinking coffee, smoking a cigarette with the binoculars, just checking everything out and getting to my watch and taking notes. And that way it's like, okay, at this time when the weather is blah, 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 this deer has a 90% chance he's coming out through this path. So I just got to watch the wind and then I'll slide right up. Because a lot of times I'll only hunt maybe once or twice and I'll have my buck.
See, and this is the things that Daniel keep hiding from me. Daniel hides this shit from me.
I believe in people should do their own hunting. They need to learn this stuff.
Daniel sits me on the fucking spot and says, here you go, and blah, blah, blah. And then he walks off and goes and smokes a fucking cigarette, drinks coffee, and shoots a fucking deer. And I'm sitting there going, where the fuck's the bloody deer?
And I will put you, Jason, these days I sat in one stand, you sat in the other. And you're saying, I didn't see nothing. And I'm reading off notes. I seen these 4 bucks. I seen these, had these, but it's like nothing that I wanted to shoot. And he's going, all right, go sit. I put him in that stand. I go sit in the stand he was in. He don't see no deer. I'm sitting in that stand and I see all kinds of deer. I take videos of the deer just to show him. See, Jason?
Look. I don't know. Am I a stinky motherfucker? Is that what it is? Like, do I
You're
fucking
probably fidgeting around too much in the stand and moving.
I'm not moving, dude. I'm literally fucking sitting there. I don't fucking move. I literally do not fucking move. I am so fucking still. It's not even funny. I do not move.
Because I've watched bucks, big bucks, lock in and look at, because you can only sit in a stand once or twice, and then the stand is pretty much blown.
The
But I've
only
seen bucks stare from 200 yards away straight at a stand, and for over half an hour to see if somebody's in it. They're watching for movement. The big bucks, when you're out hunting them, the big bucks are actually out there hunting you to avoid you.
the only time that I've actually got up and stood up was when you told me to. I've never actually stood up unless you said stand up and move this way. I literally sat there, dude. And I'll be in a lot of pain sitting there, but I've sat there. I do not move.
Yeah. And for MCK, the archery starts here right around the end of September. But I won't start hunting until the last couple weeks in October, because that's when the rut starts kicking in. And then you're going to see more bucks in one day than you'll see all of gun season.
Fuzz, yeah, I have a big bladder, man, but I can hold it, dude. Literally, I can hold it probably longer than most people can. Like, I can hold it for hours.
I take an empty milk jug with me, tied onto string, and I leave it to the bottom of the tree, and paint the milk jug brown or something a couple weeks before you go out to hunt with it, so they don't smell the paint. And you just pull that milk jug up on the string, take care of your bladder business, and then lower it back onto the ground.
Remember to put the cap back on.
That's right.
So, Rob, what I'm thinking is it seems to me Scotsman needs a pack of cigarettes and a thermos of coffee, doesn't it? Do you?
Well, okay. Let me stop you there. Let me stop you right there. I don't smoke cigarettes. I smoke a pipe. So if you want to send some tobacco, you can send some tobacco, but send me pipe tobacco. I don't do cigarettes. I do cigarettes when I'm desperate. But that's rare. And Daniel knows that's rare. I've had a cigarette or two with Daniel, but that's a rare occasion. I try not to smoke cigarettes. I'd rather smoke a pipe.
Well, Scotsman just might be cursed in a way or something too. So, yeah, some people just naturally have better luck than others.
Okay.
I'm telling you, there's a fucking curse on me. I don't know who the fuck put it on me, but there's a fucking curse.
I've already told you what the problem is. Now I'll explain why it is. Animals pick up on your aura. Okay? If you're totally relaxed and if you're hunting in the hunting mood, you give off this hunter predator aura. If you are just chilling out, relaxing, don't give a crap about whatever, you're just enjoying the day out in the woods, you're not putting out that predator aura. So the deer around you are going to be more relaxed and they're just going to walk right on by. So here I am drinking coffee, smoking cigarettes, kicking back, just enjoying the day. Fools them every time.
I will say this to your statement. I've never been out there and had my pipe with me. So next time I come out, I should probably bring my pipe.
Just make sure you play the wind right with the pipe, because I play it with the coffee and cigarettes.
Next time I'll bring my pipe and we'll see how it goes. I'm not arguing with you. I'm there and I'm relaxed. Honestly, I don't know what it is, man. Like seriously, I don't know what the fuck it is.
Yeah.
I
Read MCK's. He is backing up what I had just told you. And I know this is for a fact and it's true because I was out deer hunting once and I came around this big multiflower rose bush. These things are nasty if you've never seen them. And there's this huge dog there and he's like baring teeth, growling. And it's like, dog, you just screwed up. And all of a sudden that dog just like, and then turned around and hightailed it the other way.
All right. Well, next time I come out and hunt, and I hope I can this year, if I'm still permitted to, I will bring my pipe with me. I would definitely like to get out there and hunt, man.
Oh.
So yeah, I'll bring my pipe next time.
I haven't even shot a deer
Daniel
in 2 years. Go ahead, Rob.
I was saying I agree with you on the whole dog aspect. I think that's one thing, people sometimes have a problem with. But if you're meaner than they are, they just kind of leave you alone. I mean, you don't have to be aggressive or whatever, but you just don't have that natural fear. I don't know. I've had to deal with a few dogs over the years, so for me, it doesn't affect me, I guess, the way somebody that's never been bitten or just bitten once as a kid and it traumatized you or something. But if the dog knows you're willing to battle them out over, they usually just leave you the hell alone. And if you honestly don't have any bad intentions, most dogs won't bother you much anyway. Depending on how they're trained, they may follow you a lot. I had a friend where
you got to remember most animals will smell fear.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
They'll smell that you're nervous, and the best thing you can do is honestly just relax. And it may sound crazy to some people in that situation. You got something coming at you, but relax, because the more that you put yourself in a position where you are antagonizing that animal, you're making yourself more adept to the fact that you're now going to get hurt.
Mark and I, MCK, he calls it frequency. I call it aura, but we're talking about the same thing. Animals do pick up on that. I've seen it with multiple animals at the times, whether it's somebody's domestic dog or I'm out there in the woods.
People too.
Here's the thing, people. A lot of folks have problems with centering themselves, and this is something that's big in martial arts, and I don't talk about this a whole lot, and I probably should talk about more. But you need to understand how to center yourself and make yourself calm and understand what's going on around you. It's not a simple thing to do by any means of the matter, but when you can get yourself in that position, you will find yourself in a lot better place than what you are or what you have been. And it's not a simple thing. Again, you there's a lot that goes into centering yourself and finding that spot. You have to be able to understand that this isn't an easy thing for people to understand either, but you have to understand that fear is not an option. You have to understand that when someone throws a punch at you, that you're not going to sit there and cower. You have to understand that you're willing to take whatever's coming at you. And for most people, that's a hard thing to do. But if you want to be able to center yourself, if you want to be able to get yourself to that point, that's what you got to do. And it's not a simple thing. It takes a lot of years, and it takes a lot of practice, and it takes a lot of focus. And there's a lot of shit involved in it. You know, I've been in the martial arts industry for the last almost 30 years, and I'll tell you right now, I'm to this day, it's still something that I'm not gonna say eludes me, but it's something that you're still fighting for, and you're still progressing towards. There's a lot of shit that goes into that. It's not a simple thing. It's not one thing that you're gonna attain in a day. It's gonna take you a long time to attain those type of attributes.
Well, I can show you something that helps when you're hunting. My hunting buddy consistently kills bigger deer than I do, and he typically sees more deer than I do. Well, he's got this hunting clothing that helps block your electronic signature. And let me see if I can find this here. It's called Hex. HECS. I don't know what it stands for, but I swear it works because I've seen it work. But you guys looking for some help blocking that electrical sense that the deer pick up on? Hex works. I've seen him. Yeah, it's good stuff, Mock. I'm telling you, brother. He's wore it for the last 3 to 4 seasons, and yeah, I got proof of it somewhere. Hold on a minute.
So it blocks that aura. Scotsman, is anybody still in there? Something weird just happened.
Yeah, everyone's still here.
Okay.
If you guys have questions about guns or working on guns or whatever, throw them out there. You know, we're all happy to help. We'll answer your questions best we can. And if you guys are local to me, you can always ask me. You know, I'll help you out.
So wrap yourself in copper and lead. Well, there is, matter of fact, I do have an undergarment that goes against the skin. That's a silver infused. So that was supposed to cut down on the scent.
I'm sorry, they're out in the shed. I'll have to get them some other time. But I've got the antlers from the bucks that we killed this past season. He's got this big, nice 8-pointer, and I got a 9-pointer, but it'll fit inside the one he killed.
So we have a comment out there from MCK, and I responded with due diligence of what this man should do, and if you're considering, if you're in that position, here's what you should do, folks. Pay attention.
I put the sights that are on a CZ. Boom.
Go throw that in the fucking trash and get you a real gun.
So I've seen fawns. Within the last 2 weeks, our doe have started dropping babies.
Mm-hmm.
They're so cute. They're beautiful.
All right, we're almost halfway through. Jamie, would you please do the honor, sir, of going through and calling up folks in the side chat?
All right. I usually get them to type something in, but we won't go that
Go
far.
for it, man. You say it, man. Go for it.
Type in Fawn, Fawn, and we'll call your name out on TV. How about that? Type it in, Daniel. I'm going to call your name out. That's cool, Tommy boy. So, okay. I think Edward Petty was in first. We got Tommy Boys out there, Bama Dad, Bobby Barlow, Fluffy 10mm Jeep guy, Gizzard Gary. Hey, Gary. Daniel God is my judge, reloading from the hot pot. Tommy Boy, Garage Guy 879, MCK, Ms. Hot Shot. The Crazy Scotsman is on the panel and the side chat. Redbird 491. Rollis Carbellis, the Gun Genius. Fuzz T4K. Uncle Jim 2. Hey, Uncle Jim. Good to see you, buddy. Fuzz said they dropped here a month ago. Dang. I bet Uncle Jim's seeing some nice fawns out that way.
I've seen a lot of deer here lately, man. They've been jumping up pretty good over the late evenings. Coming home, I'm seeing a lot of deer.
Yeah,
they're not big. They're not big, but they're out there.
I'm not seeing good bucks yet.
No, I haven't seen any bucks. They're all fawns. I haven't seen any bucks.
I'm not. Well, we don't know right now unless we're really close. But I'm. It's about time for them to start growing bones. So we ought to start seeing some bucks.
I would say pay attention when you're driving. You know, it's they're out there, man. There's a lot of them out there, and they're moving. They're moving pretty good.
Yeah, that Tommy boy, that's a heartbreak for me to see a dead deer on the side of the road.
There's probably half a dozen right now going and going to work. There's probably a half dozen that are dead on the road.
Dang, Uncle Jim, I hate that, buddy. They eat scup oak. They have a bad taste, apparently. I've seen some nice ones on your videos, though, dude. I'm telling you, man. And the turkey.
There's lots of turkey out there. I've seen a lot of turkey in these videos. Tons of turkey. All right, so let's talk about the elephant in the room. Well, there's a lot been said about this in the past day, and I'll throw it out there and get it started. But Trump taking care of Iran and dropping some bombs, doing the things that he did. There's a lot of people out there that are saying he doesn't have the authority and this, that, the other bullshit. Number one, yes, he has the authority. Number two, every single president in the last 20 years has also launched attacks without congressional approval. So before you fucking go off on the handle and say that he doesn't have authority, no, he has authority. Congress is there to incite, if we're actually going to go to a war itself. As far as enacting an action where we are trying to stop something, yes, the president has the authority. And there are every single president, like I said, in the last 20 years has done so against a foreign enemy, and no one said a damn word. But Trump goes ahead and fucking launches some missiles, and everyone's fucking just off their fucking rocker. That's unconstitutional. This, that, the other, and trying to impeach him. What are your guys' thoughts, and where do you think this is going?
Well, one, with the whole thing with, it's not everybody saying that it's unconstitutional. It's your same players for whatever Trump does. He's bad orange man. It's unconstitutional. They're never going to agree with him. Period. It doesn't matter what Trump does. They'll go to the opposite. And that is less of half the population. And I'm thinking it's all geared to the one side. They want the U.S. to fail, to fall into civil war, to go into chaos, because they believe in burn it down so they can rebuild it to the communist utopia that they want.
Yep, you're not getting an argument from me. That's exactly how it is to me. They are definitely pushing that we're all out there fighting each other. And if you look at the simple things that are going on right now, you see that all these riots, they're pre-planned, they're bought and paid for, and we saw this back with COVID. It was bought and paid for. And unfortunately, people just don't pay attention to what is actually happening. And they pay attention to what the news is telling them. And they do the thing that everyone seems to do and forget the simple thing that, look, the government said it's okay to lie to you. And this was told to you back when we got our first black president, because, oh my God, he's black. What a great fucking thing. No. The first thing he did as president is say it's okay to fucking lie to you. But everyone thinks it's fucking fantastic because he's the first black president. Yeah. Pay attention to what's going on in the cards, people. Pay attention. Rob, I know you got something to say, man. Come on, dude. What you got?
Oh man, well, this is a touchy thing, you know.
You're sitting there all fucking quiet and shit. I know you. I know you got shit to say. Say it, man.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I don't know all the details on everything, but as a whole, I got no problems with Trump going in and doing that. So, I mean, he's just hitting military targets. Iran's been basically death to America for, you know, lots and lots of years now. They've got all types of, you know, people training, you know, for, in a sense, death to America. So they've housed terrorists in the past. They've, you know, let people come in and out of their borders when we're coming in on them. They've been playing games with us for a while. So if they started shit, I got no problems with us smacking them down a little bit personally. So I try to stay out of other places. I'm one of those where, unless it's really a problem, we should just mind our business. But
All right.
do I?
So let me ask you a question. And I'm going to ask you a question related to what Fuzz says right here. Should Obama be deported?
Deported? I don't know. Probably at least investigated, possibly arrested. I don't know. But I would state that about a lot of people.
We know he's not an American. It's out there. The evidence is out there. He's not an American. So why would we not deport him? Why would we not want him out of his country?
Because if he leaves the country, you can't throw him in jail.
Well, let me ask you another question. If he goes to jail, what's going to happen? Because, and let me finish, because he's going to be protected. So how do we navigate that issue? Because there are people out there that will try to protect him. So how do we navigate that?
If he deserves to be in jail bad enough, then they'll find a way.
Oh no, he absolutely 110%. He should be in fucking jail. He should be fucking on a bloody rope. But they're gonna protect his ass all day long. They're gonna protect him.
See, this is a thing. And Uncle Jim makes a good point right there. Free the Iranians first and let them get their freedom back. I lived through the Iranian hostage crisis. And I know Uncle Jim did too. I know Daniel did. Quite a few of us. And
yeah, I thought that was the first thing he did when he got in the office. First thing he did was sign in propaganda.
Jamie, not only did I live through it, my cousin was an embassy guard in the Marine Corps. His first duty station was in Panama. And he came up to get orders. And they gave him orders. And he went up to the skipper's office, lit a joint, and he said, "I don't think I'm going to Iran." 2 months later is when they overran the embassy and took it over.
Probably a wise move.
Yeah. Because he seen what was going on down there in Panama at that time.
What's killing me about the whole thing is, and the point I was going to make about Uncle Jim's comment is, you keep hearing on the news, it's not about regime change. It's not about getting the powers that be out of power. There's Walter. Hey, buddy. They say that, but there's a power void there right now. I mean, they're scared.
What y'all need to understand is it's about the military-industrial complex, and it's about making sure that they stay funded. And it doesn't matter what goes on around the world, somewhere or another, there's going to be some kind of conflict because they have to. Why do they have to? So they can keep funding it. And Iran was a great option because they're getting close to building nukes, doing this, doing that. And that was a fantastic option for them to go ahead and launch. People just got to really pay attention to what's actually going on, because the problem is the news is going to tell you all kinds of bullshit. They're going to lie to you left, right, and fucking center. Left, right, and center. And that's all they do all day long. They lie to you all day long. And you got to be able to see through those lies, and you got to be able to try and figure out what is actual truth versus what they're telling you. And sometimes it's not easy. It's not always easy, but you got to do some digging and do some research and figure out what's actually true versus what's not true.
Well, this is where I'm at. I'm not sure. What I was trying to say is I'm not sure, even though seems to be a leadership vacuum there, I'm not sure that the Iranian people would step up to take their country back. I don't know what's holding them back at this point. I just don't understand why they've not kicked them out. I mean, maybe they agree with that philosophy of life or whatever, but
unfortunately, Reloading from the Hot Pot and a couple others are on the money. It's all about the New World Order. It's all about putting you in your place and making you basically a fucking subject. That's it. You will do as you're told, and that's it. And it's bullshit. But if you look at what's going on, that's exactly what it is. They're trying to get everything to that point. They're trying to get everything to where we're in a currency-controlled situation where it's all digital and, just like China, and that's it. Once they get you in that rope-a-dope, you're done.
I'm not studying New World Order and military-industrial complex because I think you know how I feel about all that. My thing is people. If you want to be free, get off your ass and take your country back. Basically, we had to.
Look, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you this, but out of what you just said, I agree with you 110%, brother. And the thing of it is that people, that's exactly what they got to do. They got to get off their ass, and they have to see what's coming, and they have to understand that at some point in their life, they're going to have to step up, and they're going to have to go out and actually fight for their freedom. And it's not a simple thing to do. And a lot of people will sit there and cower, and they won't do it. Well, if you want to be free, if you want to be someone that has the power of themselves and their own life and control of your own life, then yes, at some point in time, you're going to have to go out there and you're going to have to make that choice. Do I pull the trigger or do I not? And you're going to have to make that choice, people. And it's coming a lot sooner than you think.
Good night, Miss Hotshot. And Uncle Jim says that only 30% is Islamic in Iran. So if they want to be free, they've got a majority. And I'll go so far as to say this. This is a regime that has sworn that they will wipe the nation of Israel off of the face of the earth. And they've been screaming death to America since before they took our hostages captive way back in the 70s. What do you think would happen in Israel if they had a regime change and they actually wanted a peace-loving and true democratic republic in Iran like we have here?
Here's the thing, though. They don't. That's the problem. They don't. They don't want peace. They're not a peace-loving people. They don't want peace. They want war. They want to have this. They're pushing this. That is the problem that people don't seem to realize. It's just like with Ukraine. Ukraine pisses me off so much because everyone sits there and goes, "Oh, Ukraine's doing this, Ukraine's doing that. We got to help Ukraine." No, Ukraine is the same fucking way. They want war. They are fucking pushing for it. They want it. They need it because if they don't have it, they're not going to succeed in any way, shape, or form. They need to have it, and they're pushing for it. They need our money. They need everything from America, and without America, they have nothing. And it's the same way with Iran, same way with all that shit. They need to have funding from America. Without America, they have nothing. Period. They just don't.
But we're talking about Iran, Israel, us, and you can throw Ukraine in there too if you want to. But I have a fundamental issue with people want war. Yeah, they want the handouts that come from us, the American people. I mean, even Israel has to have our help to defend themselves. And
here's my biggest issue, brother. And you can argue with me if you want to, but here's my biggest issue. My biggest issue is why are we not looking out for our own people? We sit there constantly talking about how things are bad, how we need to fix America, how we need to do this, how we need to do that, blah, 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 blah. But nothing ever happens. And the American people sit here waiting. We have veterans on the fucking streets that are fucking literally out there dying, and no one does a fucking thing.
Great
and
injustice.
We're supposed to go help all these other fucking countries, but we literally have fucking veterans out there dying on the fucking streets. I don't understand these people's thinking. I don't understand where they come from when they sit there and literally look us straight in the face and go, "Hey, we got to go do this for this country. We got to go do this for that country." What about America? What about our fucking people? What about people that actually fucking stepped up and said, "Hey, I'm going to go fight for my country. I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go do that"? What about those fucking people? To me, I'm sorry, but to me, those people fucking come first.
My point is fundamental humanity is yes. Hey, Bradley. Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, we need to clean up our own backyard before we go poking our nose in other people's business. That has always been one of my pet peeves about the way we do global politics in this country. But at the same time, these people in these other countries, I believe, are not a whole lot different from us. And I could be dead wrong, and probably am. But I can't believe that a mother gives birth to a son hoping that he will go to war and die. I can't believe that people want to see people on the streets, particularly our veterans, not being taken care of. And Lord knows how mentally messed up they are from the things they've seen that they've had to go through. Why can't we take care of our own people before we have to go fight a war?
That's my big thing. Why are we trying to take care of another country instead of taking care of our own people?
I can't make myself grasp the idea that there's mothers and fathers over there who are conceiving children with the purpose of them being a suicide bomber to blow up America. I can't make myself grasp that idea. Is that really how they feel about that over there? I don't know that. I can't make myself grasp this. But I'll tell you this, and this is going to make some people mad, and I don't mean to make you mad, but it's the truth. And I think Daniel will agree with me. I hope he does. But at the point in time Israel needs help, we've got to give it to them. Period, point blank, because the Bible says so. The Bible says, those who bless you, I will bless. Those who curse you, I will curse. Whatever Israel needs, Israel gets if I'm king of the world. Period, point blank. And I'm going to try to clean up the streets and try to help people. And the biggest thing in America, I think, is the fact that we've got people sitting up here on their ivory towers. They're living like kings. And I'm not talking about wealth redistribution. That is so uncapitalist, I can't stand it. But you got people, single moms in this world, in this country, in this state, in this town, that are having to decide if they're going to feed their kids or buy their medicine. Every day, every single day.
Well,
To me, that's much more fundamental than how many bombs did we drop on a nuclear facility in Iran on the other side of the world. What about
my big thing with this whole thing is, look, they're trying to not make it out like Trump's the first one to do this. Trump's not the first one to do this. Like I said earlier in the chat, guys, every single president in the last 20 years has dropped fucking bombs. And they're just fucking going out there and trying to make Trump a bad person when he's not the bad person. Every single fucking president in the last 20 years has dropped fucking bombs.
Right? And every single time, if it's a Democratic president, the Republicans are hollering that's unconstitutional, and vice versa.
They're trying to say it's unconstitutional. They're trying to say he's in the wrong, and they're trying to impeach him. They've been trying to impeach him from fucking the day he said, I want to run for office. So y'all got to remember this. You got to look at that, and you got to pay attention to what's going on. And the other part to that too is look at what's going on around the world. I look at all these other countries that are having a war as well. It's not just Iran and Israel. There's other places too that have a war going on. And a lot of people don't pay attention to everything around them. And I would highly encourage you to pay attention to every little fucking detail. There's shit coming, man. There's shit coming. We don't know exactly what it is. We're not privy to it. The hierarchy, they already fucking know, but we're not privy to it. But please pay attention to what's going on around you. Look at your area. Look at all the other places. Look at the other countries that are being bombed and the things that are happening. And please, just again, pay attention. There's a lot of shit happening right now, and things are going to escalate. And I don't want to put words in other people's mouths, but I'm going to tell you right now, shit's going to escalate, and you need to be ready. It's going to get bad, folks. It's going to get bad, and you need to be ready.
Got 2 points here. Okay, 2 points. One, Israel is our best ally in that part of the world. And I think we're Israel's only real ally in the world. So all these powers that be want America to fail, to fall apart. And they're taking our treasure, the blood of our youth between 18 up to, the average age, if someone does a full career, 41, 42 years old, the best years of their life when they're the strongest, the war fighters, when they can go and do this stuff. So you take a look at all this other crap. They want America to fail, whether it's from within through a civil war, all this here unrest. draining our resources, building up trillions and trillions of dollars in debt where the country goes broke. So as long as U.S. is standing, Israel has a strong ally, and Israel's been doing a pretty daggone job themselves as far as taking care of themselves. Here we went in, we had to take out those bunkers. I personally am kind of, uneasy about things going on right now because now my daughter is in the Army. Not only is she in the Army, her brigade, which is, the 11th Airborne, they're on the 72-hour notice. I mean, they get notified, they got to be anywhere in the world within, on their way within 72 hours. I played this game when the whole stuff started out with everything in the sandbox. My wife found out where I was when we were doing strikes on Somalia one year. Next year, we're going into on a little farther north doing strikes over there. So as a parent, and I'm sure you folks have sons, daughters, nieces, nephews that are in the military that are going to have to go out and sacrifice their blood. We just want to make sure if they do have to go out there and make that ultimate sacrifice, that our leaders are doing it correctly. Right now, they're doing it with airstrikes and stealth, where it's putting American lives at a minimal risk. There's still risks there, but we have the technology to go and fight a war without actually putting boots on the ground. We can bankrupt them. The second point is this. Let me get to the second point. Buddy Brown put out a video a few days ago. Last week, I'm not sure if there were congressmen or senators, whoever sits on the Armed Forces, the Joint Armed Forces Committee. Two of them, one Republican and one Democrat, just got busted for doing an insider trading into this military producing, this company that produces military assets. So they knew last week something, so they went ahead and put their money. It don't matter if they're Democrat or Republican. They don't care anything about you. You are a cash cow to make them wealthy. And they really don't have our country in mind.
That's exactly what it is. You are a cash cow. And to Daniel's point, y'all got sons and daughters, and they may be out there serving. And I'll tell you right now, I'll be one of the first people to put my hand up and salute for those folks serving. I'll tell you right now, I will be. I'll be one of the first. My hat goes off to them, and I wish I could. I got way too many medical issues, and there ain't no way in hell they're gonna let me in. Trust me, I want to, but they won't. There's a lot of shit going on right now, and we really just have to pay attention to the things that are happening. And I sit there and just like Daniel, I sit there and I hope and pray that all those folks out there that we know, sons, daughters, are safe. I don't want anything bad to happen to any of them. We got a lot of shit happening right now, and people have itchy fingers, and there's a trigger, and we don't want them to pull that trigger. They got to sit back, they got to relax, and they got to figure out what the hell to do. World War III is right there, man, and none of us want it. None of us want it. But it's sitting right there, and unfortunately, we're not in control of that. We don't have the power. These people that supposedly are elite or whatever the hell you want to say have that power, and they have it over us. So we gotta sit there and wait and see what becomes of things. But I will say this, no matter what happens, if shit does hit the fan, you yourself need to be ready to defend yourself at home, no matter what the cost. You have to be ready, period. And a lot of people may not know how to understand that concept, but I'm going to tell you right now, look, when the shit hits, it's going to hit, and it's going to hit fast. And most people probably will not know how to work around that, but you're going to have to figure it out, and you have to figure it out quick. It's not a simple thing, but you are going to have to be responsible for protecting your family. You're going to have to be responsible for making sure they're safe, getting them out, and getting them to a safe spot. And that might mean that you got to take someone out. And the average Joe isn't ready to take someone out. But I'm going to tell you right now, look, you need to have that courage, and you need to figure it out real quick, because when the shit hits, it's coming, and you got to do it. You're going to have to do it. It's not a simple thing. It's not. But you got to look out for your own. And when it comes to family, that's what it comes down to. You're looking out for your family. What are you going to do? Are you going to sit there and let them get shot, or are you going to shoot? You got to do what you got to do, period.
It's very true, and it's a shame that we have to have these type of conversations. And we lost New York Outcast.
Yeah, no one wants to have these types of conversations, guys. But with all the stuff that's going on, you just got to realize and understand that the potential for having to do that is there. And it sucks. It absolutely 110% sucks. But like Daniel said, you got family that are involved. You got this, you got that. You got to make sure and figure out what you want to protect and take care of it. And unfortunately, when it comes down to it, you may have to pull the trigger. And I'll tell you this all day long. Look, I came here with the intent of being free. And
you're right, Tommy boy. Yeah, and I agree with Uncle Jim there. But
I've been blessed by this country in many ways, and I'll say that to me, it's something that I don't take lightly. And people need to understand that if the shit hits the fan, I'm gonna do what I gotta do. And if there's
that's right, Trev. 1 week from today, by my dad's right, Americans have forgotten that freedom isn't free. I just don't want it to be my kids or grandkids that have to go. But back about something else you said there, Scotsman. military-industrial complex, and you can spread this over to Russia and Ukraine too. I think big boys have big, expensive toys, and every once in a while, they just won't play with them, you know. Problem is, you're talking about human lives, and that's a problem.
Well, no, the problem is they don't care about human lives. They care about one thing and one thing only. They care about control.
Power and money is what they care about.
They don't give a shit about human lives.
Well, that's a problem. Tommy Boy's got an interesting comment. He says, I think the biggest threat right now is Ukraine. They're stupid enough to kill Putin. If they do, the nukes will be in the air. I hope not. Yeah, we got to prepare for the wolves, Tommy Boy.
The shit's coming, folks. It's coming. I'm just gonna tell you straight up. It's fucking coming. And I don't like being the guy that says, hey, you know, prepare for this, prepare for that. But it's coming, man. And yeah, everyone needs to be ready. You just got to be ready. There's all there is to it. You know, it sucks, but shit's coming.
Before Israel gets surrounded by all her enemies, you're going to see a lot of stuff happening here in the United States, because the United States has to be taken out for Israel's enemies to take over her, as long as we're supporting. Yes, we have the Chinese that bought land right beside our military bases. We've had open borders for how many years, letting all these unscreened people illegally come into the country. So there's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot of action here in the U.S. before we see any kind of boots on the ground and real serious attacks on Israel. They're going to cut the United States. They're coming after us. So just make yourself ready. Have food.
No, that's the biggest
there
thing.
At home. The money in the banks, this happens, you're not going to have access to it because all the internets and everything will be down.
No, make sure you got ammo. Make sure you got preparations of food, water, and things that are you're gonna need. Have those preparations, because that's what it's going to come down to. Things are going to happen, and are going to happen quick, and you're not going to be ready.
I think I'm ready, and I think Jamie's ready. We know how the whole thing. We know kind of what's going on and how it's going to end up in the end, but all that stuff in between there, we've been told how to prepare and get ready for it. And the main thing is you gotta have yourself right.
There's a lot of us that are prepped to a certain point, but I think a lot of people out there still ain't, and that's what I'm trying to get across, folks. If you're not prepared in some way or the other, please go out there and do some kind of preparation, because shit's coming. It's coming, whether you like it or not. It's coming, and you know, again, I don't want to be the guy fucking out there saying blah blah blah, but the shit is coming, and we have to be ready in some form or manner to where we're able to take care of yourself to a certain extent. It's coming, and it's coming fast.
I think so.
All right, we're almost getting to the end of the 2 hours, but before we get there, Daniel, with all this going on, talk a little bit about why you go and do the shoots you do and the things you do in order to prepare, and what is that for the average person? What's that kind of look like?
I use the excuse that I wanted to deal better with the stress as far as being in a church security team, because I don't want to hit innocent people. I want my rounds going where I want them to go. But it's a lot as far as getting familiar with your tools, so that little bit of doubt has been erased. When you're out like deer hunting, if you have any doubt in your mind when that big buck comes out, or any buck comes out, you're going to get that thing called buck fever and start shaking. I'm competing and doing this stuff just to really know the tools that I have that are available to me, so I can use them and not get buck fever. And you can put that in any situation that you might feel necessary, because the stress in competitions, there's a lot of stress, especially when that beeper goes off. You have no time to think. You only have time to muscle memory and do the job.
So let's talk about that for a second. So when that beeper goes off, let's talk about IDPA, because I know you do some IDPA too. Let's talk about IDPA, because IDPA is putting you in particular situations that you may not be prepared for, right?
Anywhere from sitting at a table to sitting in your house or working in your garage or at a restaurant. They throw all those situations at you. And you go for what is your, okay, you got to have target acquisition. Which ones do you shoot first? And when you're slicing the pie, you got to slice the pie, take those out. When they're coming straight ahead at you, you take out the one that's closest to you and just start working your way backwards.
Okay, so for the folks
it also instills that you need to use cover and concealment.
So for the folks out there that don't know, let's go through slicing the pie, and then let's go through cover, and let's go through concealment.
Okay, well, I'm going to have to go up and plug this laptop in. This battery's ready to die. I'll be back.
So you guys that don't want to shoot 12 stages, think about cowboy action shooting. We only shoot 5. Just saying.
So while Daniel's getting himself set up, one of the big things that going out and doing these shoots do is they put you in a situation that you're not necessarily prepared for, and that's something that is huge. I've been training people for years, and when you get someone that's brand new to this, you want to call it a sport, we'll call it a sport. But when you get someone that's brand new to this and they take that first shot, they literally sit there and they shake. And they don't know what's going to happen, right? And they're anticipating the shot. And that shot goes off. And then as that shot goes off, you're looking at them and they have nerves going on in their hands. You turn it on, look at their face, and they got this big, huge smile on their face. And they're happy, right? They're happy. And you got to utilize the small things. So whenever you're teaching someone like that and you get into a brand new shooter, first of all, one shot only, one round only. Don't have a loaded gun with X amount of bullets. Don't do that. Please, for the love of God, do not do that. One round only. And get them going, man. And once you get them going, they're going to start to incorporate those things, and you'll see that smile get bigger. Daniel's back. So Daniel, go through what's going on in your head as you are doing these shoots and the things that come into play.
I don't want to run past any targets and have them shoot me in the back. I don't want to hit the no shoots because that represents just a victim. There is some innocent person just there. So you got to make sure you don't run past targets you need to engage. You don't want to shoot an innocent bystander. So you got to be thinking quicker on your bullet placement and, doing risk management on that target that's partially blocked by a no shoot, which represents just a bystander. Do you got to slow down on some of this part, or you got to speed, or can you got to really blaze through on when you have multiple stuff? So, and then you got to select, okay, if you're slicing the pie, you engage them as you're like going through a door and you're just looking at the area as you're going around the corner to look for any hostiles and take them out.
Okay, so do me a favor and explain slicing the pie for people out there that may not know. What is slicing the pie?
Okay. Okay, I want to try to see. Can you see the door?
Yep.
You'll actually have to open a door on some of these. And you're looking out there. And as things come, this is slicing the pie. Right there. Okay? Clearing out you're clearing out a space. And you're just seeing what's visible. If there's a bad guy in there, if you got a target you need to engage, you should go pew pew and shoot it. But you're doing it without exposing yourself until you have to. But when you do expose yourself, you're only exposing maybe this much of your head on this side, and you've already got your gun out there to engage them.
Right.
It's to improve the chances of you living through the gunfight.
Right.
But also going there and how the proper ways of using cover, because they penalize you in certain areas when you don't use the cover correctly.
So for folks out there that don't know, explain cover versus concealment.
Cover is something that will stop a bullet from hitting you. An engine block on a car, a tree outside, something that's going, the bullet, it will not go through. Concealment is just hiding you. A bullet can go through the concealment and hit you. Okay. But you just use concealment to hide. You use cover to stop the bullets from hitting you. That's simple enough.
Not necessarily the same thing, huh?
No, absolutely, man. I just wanted you to explain it for people out there that may not know.
See, I could hide behind this chair, but this chair is not going to stop a bullet. Average bullet's going to go right through it and hit you. But that's what IDPA teaches you. It's the International Defensive Gun for people that carry. That's anybody that carries should go out there and learn IDPA, because that's going to teach you a lot of things to help you survive if you got to pull that gun.
If you can't get to one of those shoots, I encourage you to go find someone that can teach you. But I'm going to tell you this. When you go look for someone that can teach you, make sure they're open. And what I mean by that is that they're not set to a standard of this company says they have to teach this way or teach that way. I've come across so many companies over the years where it's you have to teach this way or you're not allowed to teach, period. and that's not how people learn. I'm sorry, not sorry, but that's not how people learn. I realized this probably I don't know, the last time the one place I went to was about 5 years ago, I think, and I learned and realized this when I was out there, as I was going through the course, and they said that I had to do it this way, blah 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 blah, and I looked them straight in the face and I said, not everyone shoots like this. If someone's got a disability, they're not shooting this way. And they look me straight in the face and they go, well, this is how we want you to teach it. I look them straight in the face and they go, well, that ain't gonna fucking happen, dude. It's not how you teach. That is not how you teach, period. I'm sorry, not sorry. People learn different ways, and you have to be able to adapt to the person, to the situation, and teach that person as they are. There is not one way to teach everybody. There's not. Period. There's just not. And so all these companies out there are full of fucking shit. I'm sick and tired of them, and it really pisses me off because so many people pay thousands of dollars, and I mean thousands of dollars, to go to these courses and learn this shit, to go out there and teach, and they're teaching something that is not what should be taught, because they're teaching one way and one way only. And that's not how people learn, man. People learn individually. People learn by you working with them. You have to work with that person individually, period.
I would agree with that. We got there's as many different ways to learn as there is to teach. I think you know, some people learn by doing. Other people can read. Other folks need to watch a video. Me and wife have a joke that if you watch 3 YouTube videos about something, you are therefore an expert. I'm a believer that it's the 10,000 hours that makes you an expert.
I'll say this, man, and I agree with you to a certain extent. When you put the time in, that's what matters. You know, I've been woodworking since I was a kid, and that's what I learned first off. I've always worked my hands and done that kind of stuff, and then I got into wrenching and all the rest of it. That is how you learn. You learn by doing it. You get out there and you do it.
And when you're out there doing it, get one of these little tripods to put your cell phone on and video yourself doing it. That way, it start off, just go up there and really focus in from here on the arm and where the gun is in the center, so you can see what you're doing when you're pulling the trigger, because that's going to tell you if you're slapping the trigger, got a poor grip, and then take the camera, put it on the other side. Are you holding your thumbs correctly? Or you got one raised up where you're going to get a slide bite? I mean, if you can go back and review yourself, even if you're with an instructor, video the stuff, then you can go back and look at it, and you'll see exactly as the instructor is explaining it. He can say, see there, this is what you're doing right there. This is your biggest problem. And just work on that one thing that's the biggest problem. When you get that corrected, it might be the grip or the other thumbs. Don't try to correct everything all at the same time.
That's a huge thing right there. Exactly as he said, video yourself. And when you go to correct something, correct one thing at a time. Don't try and correct it all at once. You got to go one thing at a time. And I like KFW's comment. When he's out there doing classes, he's spending time and give them certain parameters, but allow them to find their own place. And that's what you got to do. People have to be able to find themselves. And if you keep pushing one way and one way only, it's not going to work. They're going to sit there and struggle. They're not going to hit their target. They're going to have problems. They're going to have issues. And at the end of the day, they're not going to want to shoot. And what is the goal of what we're trying to do? We're trying to get more people out there to be carrying, God-loving, God-fearing Americans that love to carry a firearm, right? That is the goal. And if we're trying to do that, we need to make sure that we are paying attention to how these people are out there and how they're shooting and helping these people to shoot correctly. And what you think in your head may not be correct in your mind, but in their mind, it is. And you need to adjust for that. You got to let people do the things that work for them. So long as they're being safe, and that's my big thing. So long as they are being safe, it's okay. I would rather they may have a really weird fucking way of holding that firearm and shooting, but if they're being safe as they're doing it, that's okay. I'm okay with that because they're being safe. I want people to be safe and understand what they have in their hand and what the potential damage and what the potential outcome is when they pull that trigger. That's what I want people to understand. And I need people to understand that as you are doing this stuff, the consequences of what comes after. And that's all it is. That's what it comes down to. It's never an easy thing trying to teach somebody. It's not. It's so hard to teach people. I've been teaching people for so many years now, and it's never a simple thing because every single person, again, is different. And you walk into different situations. And there are times that I've had to go in and I've had to put my hand on the firearm and grab the firearm from them and say, oh, whoa, as they got the finger on the trigger and shit like that. It's not a good situation to be in, but I've had to do it. And you got to be comfortable doing that kind of stuff. It's we love guns, right? This is what this country's about. We love guns, we love our freedom, and we want our freedom. And in order to do so, we have to have people going out there and doing it correctly. And so the biggest thing is if you're out there helping someone, try to help them do it in a manner that they can understand and it's safe. And that's it. That's all it comes down to.
Yeah, nobody wants to be an accident victim or a victim of negligence. Take your pick.
No, I'll tell you straight up. I've almost been shot more than once. I've probably had half a dozen times where I've almost been shot, and it's not fun, people. It's not. It's not fun. And by people that are supposed to be experienced and have knowledge and all the rest of it. Yeah, I've almost been shot quite a few times. It's not a fun situation.
No, it's not fun.
All right, folks. With that being said, Daniel, what you got, brother?
Next match that I got scheduled is in July. I might go up to Ashland Lake Gun Club and shoot an IDPA match in between then and now. But I just got a lot of family stuff going on that I've got to pay a lot of attention to and give help where help's needed. Thanks for having me on. I am beat, dead, tired. 12 stages is not the norm for USPSA. You can have anything, local matches where they set 3 stages up, 6 stages, and you don't see 8 stages until you see area championships or state championships. This thing today was supposed to be the warm up before the nationals next week. But hey, everyone side chat, you take it easy. Reloading from the hot pot. You can go to bed now because I know I'm about to pass out myself. Good night, all.
Appreciate you, man. And yeah, just like KFW says, a lot of training can be done without bullets. Get out there, dry fire. Please don't dry fire 22s. It's a huge pain in the ass to fix that shit when you fuck it up. So please don't fire dry fire 22s. Trust me, it's a pain in the dick to fix. Dry fire all your other cartridges, but please stay away from rimfire. But no, always good having you, man. Appreciate you, and appreciate all the side chat, folks. You've all been fantastic. Appreciate all you guys' comments. And with that being said, I'm gonna throw it over to the man of the hour, the myth, the legend, the man with the greatest beard on YouTube.
I'm not ready for this. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
586. What's up, brother?
I got you.
He's getting prepped, folks. He's getting prepped.
Y'all know I do do things a little bit different than Alan B. Pro, but you know, y'all watch us on Friday nights at 8:00, and when you do, get you one of these. Keep both barrels loaded.